Good morning. Oh, echo. My name is Valerie Vargas. I'm an academic advisor at the Northeast Center for the School of Professional Studies. On behalf of the School of Professional Studies, I want to welcome you to the New Student Orientation, those that are online as well and those that are here present. We're going to go through a few of the offices today. They're going to speak for you. We're also going to cover some information that you'll need, like how to access Blackboard, how to move through Blackboard. After the orientation, there is a tour scheduled. If you didn't RSVP, you can still join. When you go through the tour, they're going to take you to get your student ID card made. If you have a picture ID with you and your course schedule, you are able to get your ID. If you don't have your course schedule, you can access it on your mobile device, and they'll take that. Okay. I am going to introduce the academic advising team that I absolutely adore. So there are two that are not present because they are covering the learning centers here at UIW. We have 3 learning centers with the School of Professional Studies, the Northeast Campus, which is at Rolling Oaks Mall, 1604 Nacogdoches. We have the Northwest Center, which is at Data Point at I-10 in Wurzbach near the Medical Center. And then we have the Alamo Heights Center, which is actually in Incarnate Word High School in the evening. We take over that facility, as well as the Fike School of Pharmacy in the evening. So 2 of our centers are open tonight, or today, this morning, and we have 2 advisors that are there. Thomas Teeter is at the Northeast Center. If he's your academic advisor, you can find him there or email him. And then Kelly Wilson is at the Northwest Center this morning. You can email her or contact or go see her there at the Northwest Center. So right now, I'm going to start because they're sitting in order. We have Melissa Flores, and she is at the Alamo Heights Center. The offices for the advising are located at St. Anthony's Catholic High School on McCullough and Hildebrand. So if you go to Incarnate Word High School, you're not going to find any of us there. You've got to meet with us at St. Anthony's Catholic High School. Okay. We have Christina Rollison. She's also at the Alamo Heights Center. And Jackie Gonzalez is also at the Alamo Heights Center. Tammy Sweeney is at the Northwest Center. And like I said, I'm at the Northeast Center, and once again, Thomas is at Northeast, and Kelly is at Northwest. Is everybody right? That's all our staff? Yes, ma'am. Yes. Our 2 assistant directors are with us. We have our Assistant Director of Academic Advising, Tina Siller. She's right there. And then we have Michelle Whitehead. She's our Assistant Director as well. One of the best ways that you can reach your advisor is via email. We are available to meet with you in person. You can Zoom though, which is, the video conference, a phone call, email. It's kind of difficult with phone calls when you have students in the office to pick up. So if you leave a voicemail message, I just want to reiterate, please follow up with an email to your academic advisor. The entire staff is amazing about responding back to students in a timely manner, but if you could help us in that respect by following up with an email, you'll probably get a quicker response that way. Okay, welcome. Thank you. So right now we're going to have Student Success come and speak. So we have Dion Bedell with Student Success, and she's going to speak now. There were a few of you that joined us late. Just to let you know, the academic advising staff is up here at the front. You can meet all of them except for Kelly Wilson and Thomas Teeter, who are running the centers this morning. Okay.
Good morning again, everybody. I was fortunate to sign a lot of you in, so I was able to welcome you here, but we're really happy to see you here and in person. My name is Dion Bedell. Again, I'm the Assistant Director of Student Success for SPS. And you also met Myra Levy, who is a Student Success Advisor, and she's really great. You've heard me say Student Success probably 2 or 3 times in the last 15 seconds. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it's going to mean something easily and simply. We'll say that student success is getting you from this moment right here until the moment that you're crossing the stage, shaking the hand of our president. That's where you want to get, correct? That's the easy answer. But also, along the way, there are going to be some things that happen, and there are going to be some moments that you need something. It is going to be different from each and every one of you. It may be just a very positive word. It might be, that math class, you needed a refresher. and you just needed some extra resources to get you going. Maybe you needed a tutor, or along the way, life happened and you just didn't know about some agencies in the community that might help you through your personal issue so that you can continue through classes. That's what we do. We help unify you with the resources that's going to get you to that stage. That's what we do. And we don't treat each of you the same, because you're not. You're not, and you're going to need different things. And so we don't have a cookie cutter solution for you. What we do is we sit down with you. We say, tell us what's going on, and we figure out together how we're going to move forward. Now, I am the great butt kicker. And what that means is, if you need a swift one, and somebody to say, you know what, no excuses. You know, there are people, you're sitting amongst people who, they're working adults, they have families, they have responsibilities, they have life going on too. And guess what? They're going to make it to that stage. Just a few weeks ago, I was at graduation and I was speaking to a whole bunch of our students with smiling faces and with amazing testimonials and stories about how life happened to them, how they had overcome so much to get to this point. And no matter how long it takes you to do that, you need to do it. So from this moment on, I'm remembering everybody's face, because I want to see you at graduation. It is very important that you get there. You have made this choice. And I also want you to do this too. I want you to remember your why at all times. Do you know what your why is? Your why is, why did you decide to go this route? Why did you apply to UIW? Why are you pursuing the degree that you wanted? What is it that you're wanting to do with this? Always keep your why in front of you. And somebody said something very significant one day, and it changed my life. It said, if your why is not strong enough to make you cry, it's not strong enough. If thinking about your why and why you're sitting in these chairs is not strong enough to make you cry, not to tear up when you start thinking about it, it's not strong enough for the journey ahead. So pick another one. Pick another why. Pick another why, because you've got to make it to that graduation stage. But if it's strong enough to make you cry, always keep that in the forefront. That'll help you reach your goals. That'll help you set your goals. That'll be the moment where you're sitting there and you're trying to figure out how to start this paper that you have no idea how to start. Keep that why in your forefront, and guess what? You'll start moving. You'll start moving. You'll start asking questions. You'll start reaching out to people. You'll put down the pride and you'll say, I'll do whatever it takes to get past this point, right? Another thing that I want you to do is I want you to have a positive mindset about this. How many of you have been out of school for a very long time? Show of hands. Very long time. I had a student who emailed me and said, I know I'm going to need a tutor for the stats class. I haven't even taken it yet, but I already know I'm going to have some problems because I took this class years ago and I didn't do so well. So I want to be proactive and I'm asking for help right now. And I emailed her back and I said, we'll absolutely be able to help you with that. And we have a tutor that we can hook you up with. I said, but can I give you another recommendation? I said, I want you to change your mindset. I said, who you were years ago is not the same person that you are right now. You have learned a lot in the time that you took the other stats class to now. You have a different idea about school and how important it is now, right? So it doesn't matter what you did before. It doesn't matter what grades you made before. It doesn't matter what your experience was before. You're not the same person that you were before. So change your mindset. Your mindset is everything. You need to be positive. You need to say, you know what? I've made this decision. I'm going to give it everything I've got. And I won't let pride stand in the way. I won't let life stand in the way. I'm gonna work around it. And I'll ask for help. We have advisors. We have student success advisors. We'll help you write a resume. We'll help you build your brand. We'll help you with a LinkedIn profile. Whatever that is, again, it's not a one-size-fits-all. You have to tell us, and then we're going to see what we can do. So that's what student success is all about. As you can see, I'm very passionate about my job because it is a partnership. I can't do it for you. You've got to come and say, you know what, help me. Let's do it. And I'm going to say, let's do it together. because I want to celebrate with you. I want to take your pictures. I want to say, you know what? I remember this moment that you were sitting in orientation and you heard this lady that was telling you to get your mind right, get ready, don't make excuses, get your study spot, get your materials together. You can do it. You can do it. So if we don't talk anymore until graduation, I wanted to get all my stuff in, all right? Did I do a good job? Okay. So thank you again for coming this morning. If we can be any of assistance to you, you're more than welcome to come and visit us. We are at the Northwest Center, room 142, same room where the admissions group, the counselors are. So we are there Monday through Friday. Call us, walk in. We'd be happy to meet you. Thank you very much.
Next, we have Cesar Hernandez, who's going to go over accessing Blackboard with you. Where's Dion? Dion, can you hear me? Thomas said he was feeling her TED Talk right there. So, all right, there's Cesar.
Good morning. My name is Cesar Hernandez. I'm the Blackboard manager here at the University in Cardinal Ward, and I'm just going to give you like a little overview of Blackboard. And so there's two ways to access Blackboard. You could either use the internet browser, which I'm going to show you this morning, or you could download the Blackboard app, and you could use the Blackboard app also. And just to repeat, Blackboard is, again, to access all your course material and to access all your courses that you'll be accessing to. And so I'll be showing you how to log in this morning also, and a little bit an overview about Blackboard. And there's two internet browsers that we recommend that you use. It's Google Chrome. It's the recommended internet browser, and Firefox. And again, to log in through the internet browser, you go to our university's website. And at the very top, it has, at the top right-hand side, there's Blackboard, Events, Give, Library. You're going to go ahead and click on Blackboard. And it's asking you to accept these terms and conditions. Just go ahead and click on Agree and Continue. And here, your login and password are the same thing as when you're going to be logging into MyWord. It's your network credentials. And log in. So this is how it's going to look after you log in. At the top, it has different tabs: My UIW, Courses, Organization, Student Resources, My UIW, and Library. And then there's all these tabs. There's the Tools tabs. Those are like, for example, different types of tools you can use. There's Announcements. And here on the top right-hand side, there's a module just called Courses. This is where it's going to be listed all your courses. And then you're going to go ahead and click on one of your courses. I'm going to go ahead and click on. And under courses is going to be listed all your courses. And for example, I'm going to click one of the courses that I'm going to be registered for. And this is how it's going to look. It's going to have on the left-hand side is going to have your menu. It's going to have the home page. Announcements. And then it's going to have your weekly lessons. I'm going to go ahead and click on week 1. Week 1 assessment, class notes, media links, and discussion. And it is going to be depend on your instructor if they use. No, you can bring.
So within the School of Professional Studies, within your course, every 8 weeks, you're going to, oh, I'm sorry. Within your course, our courses are every 8 weeks. So within your course, you're going to have the weekly lessons are going to be 8 weeks, okay? Within your 8 weeks, you're going to have 4 folders. Your week 1 assessment is normally going to be your assignments, your test, or your quizzes, okay? That's where your faculty member is going to upload that. Within your class notes, you're probably going to have your faculty member instructor upload your notes, your PowerPoints, anything that instructor wants you to review for that week. Your chapter 1 notes, your chapter 2 PowerPoints, whatever chapter you're going to have that week. Your media links. Example me, I give my students videos to look at for that week. So they may upload a video that week for you, okay? So that'll go into your media links. Your discussion 1, week 1, that's where you're going to do your discussion, your weekly discussions with your classmates and your instructor. They're going to give you a question. What did you think of the video? Share your thoughts on the video. They may give you a discussion question on chapter 1. What did you think? What is define organizational development? That may be something that they're going to tell you. So then what happens is you're going to go on discussion 1, week 1 thread, and then you're going to reply to your instructor. And then your classmates are going to continue on that thread. So it's just going to be a continuous discussion with each other. So that's how that happens. And every week you're going to have those 4 folders within every week for the 8 weeks of class. Does that make sense? And that's how the class goes. And that is for online. Everything normally happens like that for the online classes. For on-ground, the only thing you will not get on an on-ground class is the discussions. But mainly everything else you will see on an on-ground class as well, okay?
And again, this is just like the basic outlook of all your courses you're going to have. And then here you're going to have information about your instructor. Again, the discussion board. And then email. And the way to contact your professor through the Blackboard email, you just click on, so you email, and then all instructors, you add a subject, question, and then you type in your question to your instructor, and they'll email your instructor within the course. And then it has my grades, so you know, so you can see what your grades are within that Blackboard course. And then it has other resources for you. And if you need additional resources for Blackboard, they are available. Like in Google, you just type in Blackboard. Blackboard help. And you're going to go ahead and click on student. College and university. And learn. And then it gives you all these common issues of Blackboard, popular pages. And you could also search also if there's a particular question, like if you have a question about the discussion board, submitting assignments, you can search and it searches and it gives you step by step, and it gives you videos also and how to use Blackboard. And Also, in our login page, right before you log in, it gives you information to contact the help desk. You're welcome to call the help desk. They can assist you if you have any login issues, technical issues, or if Blackboard is slow also, or if you have any basic questions that could assist you. If they're not able to answer, they'll go ahead and transfer you to one of my team members, and they'll go ahead and assist you with Blackboard. You could either call them at Blackboard at the number listed, or you could create a ticket also, and we could contact you as soon as possible. And that's like a little overview of Blackboard that I provided this morning and how to log in, and I give you a little bit information on the course structure of Blackboard.
Once you get into it, you'll have more questions. One thing to always remember, this is something that I always tell all the students because a lot of times this blindsides students. 8, the last Friday of classes for on-ground, for online, Blackboard closes at 5 p.m. A lot of times faculty will tell you that their classes remain open. Blackboard shuts down. It shuts down at 5 p.m. That is something with the system. That is something that we have within our school. The faculty do not control that, the school does. So it shuts down at 5 p.m. on Friday. So if you have to turn in assignments, if you have to turn in tests, if you have to turn in anything via Blackboard, you have until 5 p.m. the last day of classes. Always remember that. I get a lot of calls from students panicking. My assignment did not upload. I turned it in at 6 p.m. Blackboard closes at 5 p.m. We make announcements. We always try to remind you of our deadlines, of our updates as much as we can. So please always remember that. 5 p.m. the last day of classes. Blackboard shuts down.
Simply because the system shuts down, so all of your grades are erased. So unless you're keeping track of it, you're not going to know what your final grade is. You can email your instructor for your final grade, but academic advisors do not release that information. Okay, so just
Valerie,
remember that.
That was a good point that Valerie just said there. This is another thing. Grades do not roll until the following week on that Wednesday. The registrar's office does not roll grades until that following Wednesday. So if, like Valerie just said, I want to reiterate, if you would like to know your final grade, email your instructor and they will be the ones to tell you what grades you made in that class.
Okay, so next we have Melissa Flores. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Michael. Yes.
Central Standard Time.
Good question. Yes.
Very good
Yeah.
question.
Okay, so Melissa Flores is one of our academic advisors, but she spent a lot of years in financial aid. So she's going to speak about financial aid this morning. If you have, did you bring extra flyers or no? They can access that online, right? So, okay. So she has some flyers that'll go in further with the information she's going to present. You can get that in the financial aid office, or you can access it online at the financial aid website. Okay, here's Melissa.
Good morning. I'm gonna hop up here real quick. My name is Melissa Flores. I'm an academic advisor with the School of Professional Studies, and I'm housed with the Alamo Heights team. I do have a couple years experience in financial aid, so I was wanting to share just some basic information. The financial aid office is open, so feel free to stop by if you have any further questions that maybe I can't answer, or maybe they'd be best to answer for you. So whether you have already applied or are thinking about applying, the thought process, or what I'm going to suggest, is just apply. It doesn't hurt to apply. You can always decline it. Whatever you get awarded, you're not set in stone to that award. You can reduce it, you can decline it, or you can accept it. Excuse me. So whether you are an undergrad or a graduate student, whether you're using just financial aid, employee reimbursement, benefits, still go ahead and apply, because there's a particular budget that the financial aid office will give each student. So whatever can fit into your student budget, whether from financial aid, benefits, or other forms of payment, you can still utilize it, everything that you're eligible for. So just to backtrack on the application process, It's a free application. So if you are on a website and they're asking you to submit payment, you're on the wrong website. If you do go that route, unfortunately, the financial aid department can't do anything to credit you back. So just keep in mind it is a free application. The process itself is going to take about a week. Anything longer than that, there may be something holding it up. So it would be in your best interest to touch base with the financial aid department just to see if there's something that's missing, something didn't get saved. It does happen. Eligibility-wise, you want to make sure you're not in any previous federal loan debt. You want to make sure you're maintaining SAP requirements. You want to make sure you're maintaining enrollment requirements. For undergraduate students, you want to make sure you're maintaining 2.0 and half-time, which is 6 credits. As a graduate student, you want to make sure you maintain a 3.0 and half-time of 3 credits. That's a recent change regarding financial aid. Now, the way that our program works is that our classes are every 8 weeks. So financial aid is going to look and award you per the 8 weeks in the sense that you need to make sure the biggest thing to remember is your enrollment. You want to be actively enrolled and participating in half-time. So if you're undergrad, you have to actively be 6 credits, or if you're a graduate student, you want to make sure you're actively 3 credits. So as an example, if you're enrolled in Spring 1 and Spring 2, 1 and 1 course, you will not see any financial aid disbursement until Spring 2, because at that point you have successfully completed 3 credits and are actively in another 3 credits undergrad-wise. So you can carry your balance from Spring 1 into Spring 2 and expect your disbursement at that point for Spring 1 and Spring 2. Now, if you're a graduate student, 3 credits is half-time, so you will get your Spring 1 disbursement at that time. And then following session, you will see your second. Now, if you choose to enroll in just the first session, whether you're in 2 classes or 1, you have that option to get your aid pushed up front and receive it all in Spring 1 as long as you're maintaining your eligibility. So just to follow back up here, if you've already applied, and again, it's been more than a week, touch base with financial aid. You want to make sure that there's nothing holding it up. There are paperwork that you can download off their website and you can submit to them, everything you can email or fax over to them. You want to also make sure that you're maintaining and watching your eligibility requirements. Keep an eye on SAP. You want to make sure your GPA is meeting the requirement. You want to make sure your completion rate is being met. You have to make sure you're at a 75% completion rate of all your attempted coursework. And then you also want to make sure you do not exceed your program requirements, which is 125%. Anytime any of those are not met, you will be flagged and you will be notified by financial aid. You have an opportunity to appeal that. If it's approved, you will be put on probation and monitored for the next session or so until that requirement has been met, and then the flag will come off, and then there will be no issue there. Again, if you have any questions about financial aid, the office is open. You're welcome to stop by and ask any questions. I'm happy to answer any questions that may come up that I'm hopeful I can answer. But again, if there's anything further, the financial aid office will be there to assist you.
So thank you, Melissa. Next, we have Erin Cassidy from the library who's going to speak to you. The UIW library is an immense resource. So this is good stuff.
All right, I'm Erin Cassidy, and I'm your librarian for all of your programs. It doesn't matter what your major is, it doesn't matter what program you're in, what class you're in. I'm the one you can come to and ask questions. The library is closed today still for break, or else we would have a tour of the library. But you can access everything that you need from off campus, so it doesn't matter. If you never come in this building again, you'll still be able to get to everything you need. So this is the link up here to the library page. It may be changing this sometime this term or next term, but there will always be library links there. There's a library link in Blackboard as well. The library links will send you either to this page, or they may send you into the research guides, which I'll show you in just a second. So from this page, your temptation is going to be to search everything. I would say don't do that. If you need books or ebooks, go in here. Databases and journals, go in here. So you will be able to get to everything you need when you need outside resources. So if your instructor tells you you need to have articles from reputable journals, you go into our library databases and you pay for those, and you have access to all of the information in there. You should be able to get to all the full text articles that you need. You should be able to get to any ebooks that you need. If you're having trouble finding the things that you need, then you can contact me. That means if you have a specific article that you need, specific book, you need it right away, you can interlibrary loan it, or you can find it at another library in town if we don't have it. Let me show you the database. Links are all in here if you have specific journals that you need or specific databases. Sometimes they'll tell you you need to go and look in ABI Inform. Go into the list of databases. The other good place to go is going to be into research guides. There are going to be research guides for all of the subjects that you need. They are listed here, or else you can go directly into distance education, and all of the guides that say EAP on them are guides that contain information that you can access from a distance. They're not going to have any walk in and grab whatever book. It's not going to happen. These are the books that you need. These are the databases you need in here, and it'll give you some ebook suggestions. So if you're a business major, for example, if you're in a criminal justice program, history class, whatever you need, your English information. When you are in Blackboard, a lot of times it'll send you into this distance education information, the guide for students. So all of this information is here for you to remember. You have the same level of library access as on-campus students. So if you don't ever come to campus, you're still gonna be able to access everything that you need. If you're you can contact me, or else we also have a graduate librarian who is Polly McCord, and she can help you as well. If you feel like you need a subject specialist, the guides will give you an idea of who the subject specialist for your business program. But usually you want to come to me, and if it's more than I can handle, because I kind of cover everything, then I'll send you over to your specialist. So all the information about visiting campus, coming in the library, you can come and get an EAP parking pass if you do need to come to campus. I think they told you that. That includes if you need to come into the library. I can't stress enough how much you need your student ID, whether it be to come in and actually check out a book, if you want to, or when you're on campus, they kind of have like a kind of a curfew-ish almost after like 10:30 or so. So you want to have your ID. We stay open late during the holiday, during the break, coming into our on-campus finals week until 2 a.m. And so obviously you need your card, because they'll just kind of boot you off campus if they don't know you're affiliated with UIW, okay? So be sure and bring your student ID. We have group study rooms in here. A lot of EAP students actually do come in and use the library for group study rooms when you need a quiet place to study. You can also use your local libraries that are around you as well. Does anybody have any questions? I will be seeing a lot of you in your classes. I come into classes and do sessions, especially the English classes. And a lot of various majors will have me come in and do a session with y'all too. All right, so you can always email me, contact me through this guide if you want. My email address is listed in here. All right.
I just want to mention one thing. If you do come to campus, if it's after 5 p.m., you don't need a parking pass. But if it's before 5 p.m., you'll need to meet with, there's a little kiosk up at the front. The administration building faces Broadway. You'll be able to stop there and get a day pass so that you don't get ticketed for parking. Just put it in your dashboard, and then you can use the facilities on main campus. Just remember to always have your student ID card with you. For those of you that came in late, during the last part of the orientation is a tour. If you didn't RSVP for it, it's okay. But during the tour is when you're going to be able to have a student ID card made. You need a photo ID, and you need your course schedule. If you don't have your course schedule with you, you can access it on your mobile device. Okay. So next we're going to have Michelle Beasley. She's with Student Disability Services, and Michelle was my academic advisor when I was a student here with EAP. So I just love her.
Thank you. And you were an excellent student, by the way. Okay. Made my job easy. So I did start out with EAP. It was extended academic programs. So many things have progressed since that time. I graduated from the program twice, so I definitely love this program, and I have a heart for this the students in this program, because I was one, and I know what your challenges are. And I like to say, someone once told me, we don't have problems, we have challenges. So that gives you more empowerment. So, so I know coming back to school is a challenge. You're balancing work, life in general, family, and trying to study all at the same time. But it definitely can be done. So you just have to work out a plan. I don't make New Year's resolutions. I try to make plans. So make a plan and stick to it. And you just have to be very disciplined. But getting back to why I'm here, I am with Student Disability Services. I left my flyer here at the door. I'd like everybody to pick one up, even if you don't need it, because you might know somebody that does. We work with students to provide reasonable classroom accommodations based on their disability and what their functional limitations are within the classroom. So we discuss what that might be, and at this point, you might not know. You know, we have students that call our office and say, well, you know, I've always struggled with reading or this or that, and maybe they've never been diagnosed with a disability, such as a learning disability. We can get resources, put you together with some resources to get that taken care of and get evaluated. So don't ever hesitate to come in and let us know if there are certain challenges that you've been facing academically. Certainly there are other disabilities, such as physical. There are emotional, psychological disabilities. So there could be all kinds of things affecting you in this environment. So the main thing is to reach out for resources, tools, just like any other resource on campus, whether it be the library, your advisor, tutoring, whatever's available. You're here for this finite amount of time, and you have a plan, and you want to get this done. We recently had a graduation, so that's our favorite day. We see these happy graduates crossing the stage. We see their families there celebrating and crying and laughing, and it's just a great day. So that's definitely our favorite 2 days of the year when we get to go to graduation and see our graduates crossing the stage. So to register with our office, I just wanted to make sure you know, you do have to provide documentation of a disability. And on our website or on this flyer that you can pick up, we have the details about the documentation guidelines. If you think you have some documentation and you're not sure if it's enough, just go ahead and give me a call or email, or you can come by my office. I'm in the administration building, room 51. But definitely, we do a lot of work remotely with this population, certainly because you're usually working during the day or you've got other things going on. So we have an electronic form of requesting accommodations, and you can actually upload your documentation there as well. So we try to make it as simple as possible so you can get on with why you're here. We don't want to add to your daily tasks, so to speak. So we want to make it as simple as possible and seamless. So definitely take a look at the website, uiw.edu, and then just go under student life, or you can scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and it says 504 ADA down there. So you'll see that. And then you'll see a lot of different links within that lead you to our forms, our electronic submissions, documentation guidelines, and things like that. So definitely let me know if I can be of any assistance. If you're not sure again, let me know. We'll talk about it. And don't hesitate to do it, because these are tools. Again, it's not a crutch. It's not a helping hand out there just to make it easier. These are tools, because we want this program to be accessible to you. And that's not making it easier. My students are the hardest working students, I like to say, on the entire campus. I have students at all of the professional schools, the School of Medicine, certainly physical therapy, all the others, pharmacy and optometry. I have doctoral students. We have students at the high schools. So we have from A to Z. So definitely let us know if we can be of assistance with accommodations, and we send those out to your professors electronically, and then you just have a confidential conversation with them whenever y'all can meet after class, etc., or whenever it's convenient for you, and you can kind of discuss the logistics of that. And then as you go along, you're letting me know if there's any challenges that come up, or if you're just having a great day, let me know that too, because I like to hear those too. But anyway, the main thing is communication. Communicate with us, your advisor, just keep in good contact because we're all here to help you. And we want to see you succeed. And that's why we're all here. So just remember that. All right, and good luck and welcome to UIW. And everybody listening from Zoom as well, welcome to UIW and let us know if we can help.
Like she said, her flyers are right here on this podium as you walk out. Right now, I'm going to introduce Adriana Leal, who's our director of our Veterans Office. So I'm just going to, she wasn't expecting to speak, but I just wanted her to just say a little something. Absolutely. Just going to use the website. First, I just want to say hello. Like Valerie said, I'm Adriana Leal. I'm the director for our Center for Veterans Affairs here at UIW. We have over 1,000 students here at UIW on the GI Bill. Real quick, how many of you all plan to use VA educational benefits? Oh, wow, quite a lot. Okay, great. I'm going to go ahead and show you the website where you can see all the documents you need to get started. Your first step is going to be to apply with the VA. You can do that by phone or online, and I don't know where everyone is in that process, but that is your first step. Once you do that, the VA will get back to you with a certificate of eligibility. It's important that you do that right away to apply with the VA. So when you get that certificate of eligibility, you know what benefit you're using and what you're eligible for, and that's what our office needs to know. So I'm going to show you. Okay, I just want to briefly show you our website. If you go to Start My Benefits, it gives you step by step what you need to do. Like I said, the first step is to apply with VA. So here on step 3, we've got a list of all the documents you need listed by the benefit type here. And then scrolling down, if you're a spouse or dependent using the benefit, we've got, it's a little different as well. So we've got all the documents that you need. So that's really the first step. Once you have those documents, you can bring them to our office. We're located. We're located on the 3rd floor of the Student Engagement Center. I really would encourage you to take the tour. This is a beautiful building right over here, and a cafeteria is there, the bookstore is there, and we're on the 3rd floor. We are open today till 1 p.m. So if you have your documents or if you have further questions, feel free to visit us. And we'll be available to help you get started. I also want to mention that we have our own orientation that we're going to be having next Friday at 2 p.m. So, and it's going to be here as well in this exact same room, the library auditorium. So please join us, and we're going to be going into further detail about using your benefits, especially if you haven't used benefits before. I really recommend you come because there's a lot of do's and don'ts with VA. So I really recommend you come. I also want to mention to you that we have a very active Student Veterans Association here at UIW, over 90 members in the SVA. And I really would encourage you to get involved if you're looking for networking, community. They do perform community service projects together. They have social activities as well. And I don't know if they mentioned, but if you're undergrad, you do need community service hours anyway to graduate here at UIW. So what a great way to do it with in the SVA. And the SVA is open to not only veterans, but spouses and dependents. It's open to everyone. So I would encourage you to get involved with that. And to do that, I just want to also show you, sorry, I'll keep going back. I don't know if they mentioned the My Word portal to you all. So also on the My Word portal, it's sort of the hub for everything. let me just, oh, did you show them Cardinal Sync?
No.
Let me show that really quick. The SVA meets on the first Friday of every month in the Student Engagement Center at 10 a.m. Those are when their monthly meetings are held. So on your MyWord portal, if you come to Cardinal Sync, this is all the student organizations where they're all listed, and you can look up Student Veterans Association in the search bar right here. Here it is, and you can choose to follow. It's kind of similar to Facebook, I guess. You can choose to follow the Student Veterans Association, so you can be notified of their meetings, any events that they're having. So like I said, I'd encourage you to do that. They're also holding an election this month, so if you're interested in a leadership position, president, vice president, treasurer, secretary, you can apply. You can send our office by email your photo and a brief bio, and you can be added to the ballot as well. That's pretty much all I have. Like I said, if you have any questions. Thank you, Adriana. Just to piggyback off of that really quick, those of you that are using TA benefits, we always get this question from new students as to where do I send my TA form, and it'll typically come to the advisor. It actually goes straight to the business office, and you can submit that via email to them. The first time, I always tell my students, if you'd like, you can send them to your academic advisor. We will just forward them over to the business office and copy you on it, so then you have their direct email address after that. Okay, that's for TA. Right now, really quick, Shirley Calder, our Associate Dean, wants to just say a few words.
What I want to talk to y'all about is, since I talked to y'all about how to get into Blackboard, how to get into your classes. I think I'm loud enough that everybody can hear me. But I want Tyler to talk to y'all about how to get into the hub of everything for the university. So Tyler's going to demonstrate, since he's our IT guy, he's going to demonstrate all that, because that is what is the hub for everything for our website. And that's what all of you need to know. So I'm going to hand it over to Tyler.
All right, we're going to be talking about MyWord. If you go to the UIW main webpage, at the top right-hand corner, you're going to see the MyWord link right next to Mail. Once you click that, this is going to be your single login solution. Once you log into here with your username and password, you'll be able to access your Blackboard, your MyWord, your Bannerweb, your email, your CashNet, everything you need to know and everything you will ever need will be on this webpage. And your degree works, grading,
Everything.
yes.
Yes, yes, he keeps going.
It's a paragraph.
So on the left-hand side, you're going to see your favorites, which is always going to be your webmail, which is how you're going to communicate with your professors. You shouldn't be using your personal email address by university regulations. You need to be using your UIW email address for any kind of contact with professors or teachers or advisors or deans. Under that, you're going to have your Blackboard, which is what you guys can become very familiar with for all your classes, all your courses, work, anything to do with your class will be in Blackboard. Bannerweb is where you can check is more of your personal information. It's going to have some of your payment options. It's also going to have a few other things such as your CashNet and your financial aid and how to apply for graduation.
Registrar's office.
Correct. Rave Alert, you guys may or may not really need unless you're going to be on some of the campuses. Rave Alert is our alert system if there's something going on, if there's really bad weather, lightning strike storms, or in worst case scenario, an active shooter. You will get a Rave Alert sent to you via email, text message, and sometimes through their social media once they get that working.
I highly recommend that everyone sign up to Rave Alert. Not going to hold classes like Tyler said because of weather, storm, something. Rave Alert will send out an email.
Under that, you're going to have your Launchpad, which will have every single link you're probably ever going to need. And some on here you'll see that I have that you will not have since I am an employee. All the ones in our favorites, like normal. We also have a few other ones like Cardinal Cards, which you guys shouldn't have to worry about since you won't be on campus for those hours. The UIW e-payment center, that's where you can go and pay for some of your bills through UIW. Also, if you're going to be on campus at any time, you can put money on your ID card to swipe for printing, because you will need to put money on your card to print. If you're going to print your papers at the UIW campus or from any of the labs or libraries, you will have to have money on your student ID to be able to access the printers at all of our stations. Other than that,
Grades first is an important one. That is, your instructors will contact you on grades first. Let's say you didn't show up for class. Let's say you missed 2 classes. They're going to contact you via grades first. They're going to send you an email, which will also go out to your advisor, to both of you, saying, Valerie, what happened? Why haven't you been in class? Or your grades are going down. You may drop from a B to a C. What's going on? Is something happening? So when they send you an email, they're also going to alert your advisor that something's happening with you. So your advisor will always know what's going on with you in class as well. That's what Grades First is all about. SharePoint. We don't need SharePoint. DegreeWorks for student. That is where your degree plan will be. So you will always be knowing what's going on. Transfer work. Did it get updated to my degree plan? You will always be able to see that on DegreeWorks. You will always be able to see all your grades on DegreeWorks. So always, that is something that's going to be your best friend. DegreeWorks is going to be your best friend, so you can always keep up with how many hours do I have? How many hours do I need? What else? Anything else, guys?
No, just on the degree work, we cannot stress enough as advisors that this is your degree plan officially. The registrar's office is the one who maintains it. It will check off everything that you've completed or transferred in, and then everything that is not marked off is what you still need to complete in the program. So we have lots of students who say, what should I take next? Have you accessed DegreeWorks? Have you looked at your degree plan? We are absolutely available to help you make recommendations. We want you to come with your recommendations first and say, hey, I'd like to take accounting and economics, and we're going to tell you, no. Do you want hair at the end of the term? Don't take those 2 classes together. So that's what we're going to do with DegreeWorks, but we need you to be able to access that. Okay.
So one thing that I'm going to...
Oh, yes. One more thing. Plan of study, because it goes hand in hand with DegreeWorks. So we have blank plan of studies that are amazing tools for you to get from your academic advisor. This will assist you in planning out your schedule for the entire program. So we have an annual schedule that is posted. It'll tell you what we're offering and when we're offering it. It does not change. Everything is offered, our courses, on a rotational basis. So what we recommend is once you get your plan of study, you fill it in. Okay, this term I'm going to, Spring 1, 2019, I'm taking English. Spring 2, 2019, I'm taking the second part of English. It moves like that so that there are no questions. You can look at it. You can send it to your academic advisor when it's completed for them to review. That way you know exactly what you're taking and when you're going to be taking it. Okay. One of the other things with the plan of study is, with the annual schedule, every once in a while, there will be classes that will cancel, and it's just because we simply don't have students registering early. We cannot stress enough, register early. Both terms, if it's a spring 1 and 2, summer 1 and 2, fall 1 and 2, are open at the same time for registration. We recommend you register for both terms when it is open. This prevents cancellation of classes, but also closed classes, and you need it to graduate and you can't get in. Okay. Yes, sir. It's automatic. It's automatic. So if you haven't already reached out to financial aid, we highly recommend that you at least communicate with them, but everything is automated. So everything is automatic. If there's anything left over, you'll receive the refund. Okay.
So online students can.
Sure. The student asked, he's already registered. Financial aid application has already been received. He sees himself in Banner. Will UIW automatically apply funds from financial aid? Yes, they will. The student does not have to do anything after that.
a question that came online was, how long does it take for my transfer credits to apply towards my degree?
Very good question. So typically, it can take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. It right now is a really peak time for us, so it's going to take a little longer. What happens is your transcripts come in, and we have someone who articulates them specifically, goes into the degree works and applies them. But just remember, if we don't have all your transcripts, not all your transfer credits going to show. We'll begin articulation and you will see them trickle into degree works, but not all of them are going to be there right away. So when you start, I know most of you have already looked at degree works and you're saying, hey, all my transfer credit is not here. I'm missing a bunch of classes I know I took. So our recommendation is look at your transcripts. Look at your unofficial transcripts. Think back. I know it's really hard. I came back after a long time out of school. Think back of what you took. Avoid taking classes that sound similar to something you've already completed at another institution. This prevents doubling classes that you don't need. So think about that and say, okay, I took a science. I don't know if it's going to apply. Then don't register for a science. Wait until the articulation is completely done, and then you can move forward. We can look at the transcripts once they've come in. If an academic advisor can receive your unofficial transcripts, we can look at those and automatically be able to tell you, this is going to come in, this is going to come in, this is going to come in. However, it is not official until the registrar's office does it. So what we're doing is a pre-articulation for you, but we are more than happy to do that for you. So we'll look at it and say, okay, you're going to avoid all your Englishes and all your sciences because I think all that's going to come in. Let's start with something else. Okay, so your academic advisor is a great resource to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, that's what I was going to say to all of you. First, I want to say thank you to all of you online. We have a great turnout online. We have 30 online students. Thank you. And thank you to all of you for coming. I know it's Saturday, and I know you have things to do, but I really appreciate all of you coming in here and taking the time to be with us. The thing I want to tell you all, your advisors are going to help you get through this. So please, they're there to help you. They're there with Zoom like we're doing right now, phone call, email. We're all here to help you all with whatever y'all need, because your success is our success. Always remember that. We are here to help you. So yes, get with your advisor, register if you feel ready. Because classes, like Valerie said, some classes cancel, but some classes fill up. So the sooner you register, the better it is to get the classes you want. Okay? I'm going to get, yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, unless you're already registered and the classes posted, not have access to Blackboard. Registered. Okay.
So yesterday we were having some issues. So we had to literally go in and manually upload the student into their classes. So if you don't see yourself in your class over the weekend, email your advisor and let her know, so we will manually upload you into your class on Monday.
Or him.
Okay.
She forgets we have a Thomas.
Or him. I'm sorry. Our Thomas. I apologize, Thomas.
Yeah, he's
So
watching.
just let us know. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to turn it over to Christina so she can do the closing. And then after Christina, we're going to get Myra to do a tour for all of you. Okay.
How's everybody doing? Good. I know this has been a lot of information in a very short period of time, but like Shirley said, we're so glad that y'all made it out, and the people that are on Zoom, we're glad that you decided to join us this Saturday morning as well. I'm just here. I know we already started into some questions, but we're here to answer any questions that might be popping up for you right now. Is any random stuff? Yes, sir. I'm going to run over to you because I can't really hear you myself, so.
Okay. I know you said sometimes the classes drop off if you don't have enough slots filled with students. What about classes that you may need, but you only offer one time a year?
So that's a good question. It does happen. And for those individual instances, we do have things that we can do for those students. So say a student's going to be graduating and there's one class that they need. If it's a class that happens to get canceled, then we're going to look at other options. One of those is an independent study that we can do as well. Classes that are only offered once a year, that's when it's really good to go back to what Valerie had mentioned is your plan of study, is we want to plan out all your classes so you don't get to the very end and you're waiting for a class to come back around. So that's where those plan of studies are very important, and degree works is really important. So once you fill it out and get it to your advisor, we might be able to see like that class isn't going to be offered during that time. We want to get it earlier in the rotation. So there's things that we can handle or do when we get to that situation, but we want to prevent that and plan ahead. Okay, that was a good question. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
So we do, but let me tell y'all something, and I'm not sure about, I think I've already told you guys this. Beginning this spring, we're going to have an English tutor over at the Northwest Center. We've never had an English tutor over at Northwest. This is going to be the first term that I've hired someone to be a tutor for English. So they will be there every Saturday as an English tutor from 9 to 1. And we already have a math tutor over at Northwest. So they're there from 9 to 1. She does stats, she does college algebra. She also teaches our college algebra classes. So we have those tutors already over at Northwest. So they're there every Saturday from 9 to 1.
No appointment necessary. It's a walk-in basis.
So that's for our SPS students. Yes, ma'am. So that's also another thing. We have a writing center just for our students also. It's owl.edu. That's just for our students. And you can upload your paper that you want reviewed. They will give you suggestions. They will not edit it, right, Erin, or what do they do? Okay. It's owl.edu.
That's what we're talking about right now.
Will you give Erin the microphone, because the people online need to hear this also? OWL?
The Online Writing Center. I think it's OWC.
OWC?
I think so. The Online Writing Center.
Yes.
Yeah,
Let's look it up.
DCL,
Let's
which
look
is
it
also a good place to go, but they're not going to look at your paper. Upload your paper to it.
I think
They
that's
just
the one I use.
they just changed their website too, so I hope it'll come up for you. You can upload your paper, and there's a comments section, and I would suggest that you tell them what the assignment was, because they may look at your paper and say, "Oh, this is pretty good," but then when they look at what the assignment was, they can see if you did or didn't follow it. So they'll give you feedback within 24 to 48 hours. And I've been told that the feedback is good, and then you can actually submit twice on the same assignment, but you have to go through the same waiting period again. Give it enough time so that you can make your edits. They'll give you feedback on format and on content. The other thing I would make sure you put in the comments field is tell them anything you had trouble with. We pretty much use APA. So if you have trouble with any particular aspects of APA, say, I am not sure about how to format an APA for my works cited page, or what my citations are supposed to look like, or I'm not sure how to make the headers, or just any formatting issues or content issues. Call their attention to it so that when they look at it, they can give you better feedback. But you do not have, you'll have access to the writing tutor that's going to be at Northwest. But on-campus tutoring is for the undergrads here, and then they also have it for grad students here. You guys use the Online Writing Center. They have a form, you fill it out, send it off, 24 to 48 hour turnaround. We get a lot of questions about that.
Right, and then one other thing we have is actually that we're starting to get some movement on is peer tutoring and mentor, like a peer mentor for classes, and that's really based out of the Northwest Center. So I'm going to let Dion kind of touch on that really quick.
Sure. So there's nothing wrong with helping each other, right? And so what we want to do is give you the opportunity. If you are very strong in math, help others that are not. We have 2 boards. We have one at the Northwest Center and we have one at the Northeast Center. You essentially put your information that you're comfortable with sharing, saying I am able to help in this subject matter. Someone sees that information, they can contact you. You set up however you want to. We don't have anything to do with that. We just want to give you an opportunity to share your knowledge with others, whether they're in your class or not. Also, if you need tutoring in something that is not in the 2 areas in which we have tutors, put your information on the board as well. So we have a I can tutor, and we have a I need a tutor section on that board. Okay, so that's at the Northwest Center and the Northeast Center. The other thing that I wanted to mention while I'm talking about that is I definitely want you to go to our website and student resources section under student success. You'll see a page that has tips for student success. We're going to be adding to that as we go, but it's there's some very helpful tips there. There's also a math and writing refresher there that you have access to. If you are an undergraduate student, the freshmen, the undergraduate transfer students, you have been placed or will be enrolled into an online orientation. We do realize this is a lot of information at one time. And so you'll have access to a lot of what we covered today in that online orientation. But there you'll not only find the math and writing refreshers, but you'll also have tutorials in the library as well. All three of those content areas are available in that online orientation. And so if you've seen that in Blackboard, that's what that is, okay? That also houses our Title IX training. Because we are a higher learning institution, we are mandated by state and federal law to provide training on sexual harassment, all right? And what that is and what to do and how to report it. And so that is housed in that online orientation. So if you're an undergrad student, that is why you have been placed there for that training and for access to those materials. If you're a graduate student, although we don't have a portal for you just yet, if you want that information, if you want to be placed in that course, I'll be happy to add you, okay? I don't want you to feel like that's just for a certain group. It's just because it houses that training that we have that specific group in the online orientation. But if you want to be added, if you want to have access to those resources, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to add you to that as well, okay?
All right, thank you, Dion. Yes, ma'am. All right, so each term that you have, so we have one semester and each semester is broken up into 2 terms. So spring 1 and spring 2 is what we're going into. There's 2 different drop dates each term. One is you've avoided tuition. That is the first Friday of the first week of that term. So that would be this Friday coming up, which is the 11th, I believe. Then the second drop date is to save your GPA. Say you've gotten to week 5 and midterms have happened, things didn't go so well. Graduate students, to maintain that 3.0, that's really, really important to make a judgment call at that point because you don't want a C to affect your overall GPA. Undergraduates, same thing. You don't want to fall below the 2.0. So you want to drop the class to save your GPA. You're going to be responsible for the tuition, but week 6, that Friday, is your deadline to be able to do that. You'll get a W for the class. You'll still be responsible for tuition, but that way you've maintained your GPA and you haven't taken a hit on that. And risked, especially with graduate students at 3.0, if you fall below that, you're going to be pulled from the program. So you really want to make sure that you're watching your GPA on that. All right. What other questions do we have right now? Anything? I wanted to actually, we mentioned, Melissa was mentioning financial aid and that we can be missing paperwork. I was wondering if somebody would log into Bannerweb so we could show them where to look for that missing paperwork. So there is, and I'm a graduate of SPS. I got my graduate degree through us. I got my undergraduate on main campus, so I'm definitely UIW, born and bred. I actually went to the high school too, so they can't get rid of me. But I know that there's been a couple of terms where when I was using financial aid, I was like, what is happening? Why isn't it showing up? Well, there's certain forms that when you're doing your FAFSA application, if you don't electronically sign it, it's going to prevent everything from happening. And Bannerweb is a good way to check on that and see what forms might be missing, because Melissa had mentioned that. That's one of those things. You want to reach out to financial aid, but this is a way that you can check for yourself. So in Bannerweb, you're going to have all these tabs up at top. Student services is where you want to go. Then you want to go into financial aid. View your missing documents. That's going to be one thing. Choose your year that you're looking for, but it's going to show you everything there that you need. So this is a good thing right away that you can check. It's also going to show you if you have any holds that might be preventing anything. But this is where you can go yourself and find out whether or not you've submitted everything. And then you can go ahead and kind of self-handle that situation. If things still aren't looking right, then definitely financial aid office is where you want to go.
Oh, Christina,
Yes.
one of the other things to mention is that Melissa wanted us to mention is if you're using financial aid, it will not roll until the second week of classes. It will pay out because we're waiting for that 100% drop date. Has to roll after that. Okay, so don't call us on the first week of classes and ask, "Where's my money?" It'll be there the second week. Okay. The refund will not disperse until the second week of classes.
Yeah, and that's just, we do it that way so that people that maybe you sign up for 2 classes and it's your first term and you're like, wait, I just need to do 1. You drop that 1 that first week, then we know that we don't have to actually go back and then refund your financial aid. It just kind of saves some paperwork and saves some hassle with the financial aid process. So yeah, week 2 is when we're going to start. You'll see that financial aid disbursement usually 10 days, 14 days after that. If you're going to receive a refund, you'll start seeing those mailed out and in the mail. Okay, so for those of you who are going to do the tour, so you can go get your student IDs, Shirley and Myra is going to be leading y'all on that. We're going to be here for a little bit longer. We're going to be here. I know the advisors were scheduled to be here until at least 11. So if you want to swing by or talk to us individually, feel free to do so. Again, we're so happy that y'all made it out, people here and online. But thank you very much for being here today, okay?
Thank y'all all.